All right, so for the purpose of this lesson, I want you to think of this stick here. It's called a meter stick. I've called it a yardstick. It's something that maybe if you're naughty at home, hopefully not. I know you're not. All right, we're gonna consider this as the whole. So I want you to think now, you're gonna have a ruler at your desk. I want you to estimate, we're either gonna press pause or there'll be a little question here, and you're gonna say how many of those rulers equal one of these. Press pause now. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I am going to put it up here and I'm gonna mark at the beginning and at the end. Just like that. So now remember, this was our whole, and think of number lines. So if I'm thinking of my number lines, what do we know goes clear down here? And what do we know goes up here at the end? I want you to enter those next. What number goes here? And what number goes here? Good luck. All right, you guys are experts at this by now. We know that here at the beginning is 0. Over here for the whole, we have 1. So now if I'm looking at my ruler, and I'm gonna kind of running out of hands here, just give me just a second. I'm going to mark a couple of different spots. Now, you are going to bring up your ruler and you're gonna measure now. So we're gonna have another pause right here, and you're gonna measure with your rulers how many of your rulers laid end to end equal the yardstick. All right, go. All right, so now what I'm going to do, if I'm looking at this ruler, and you can see it on yours as well, you've got these numbers here where it's inches. Goodness. 1, 2, 3. So if I were to go up here and I lined that back up and I went, let's see, let's go where this 10 is. I'm gonna mark on the 10. Well, if I mark on the 10, I know that there were 9 other spots up to there, right? Well, what fraction would this be then? I'm gonna press pause, have an answer there. Well, if you were to do that, you knew that that would have been, if this is the whole, 1 is right there, that's our whole. I'm gonna draw the line across. So our whole's right there. We marked there where it was 10. That would be equal to what? Some of you did get that right. Some of you put, well, if you marked it at the 10, well, Mr. Wilkes, that would be 1/10. So you could have wrote it like this, 1/10. However, if I was writing it as a decimal, what would that have been as a decimal? Well, you know that 1/10. We learned our decimals, right? The very first decimal is point. The one right to the left is our 10th spot. So that would be 0.1. Because that is what? 1/10. So 0.1 would be the correct answer. Now, what if we were to then break up the 1? You've got that 1 there. We know that if we went to there, what would that be? Here was 1/10, right? 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. What would this little one be? This 1. Well, that's going to be part of what? Let me go ahead and mark that. I marked it right there where the 1 is. We're going to press pause or have a little part where you get to guess. Now I want you to write it as a decimal. I know you know what it is as a fraction. I want you to write the decimal. Okay, so if you solve that, you had to do a little bit of thinking this time, right? It was a little bit trickier, but it's really not that tricky. Here is our whole, which would be, if I'm using tenths, that'd be 10 tenths. But we also know it would be 100 hundredths, right? Okay, those are all equal to one whole. So if I was to break up the tens now, where I had this mark there, that was about the size of a little block. That was the one. This would be 1/100th, 1/100ths, or 0.01. So if you need to go back and look at your chart, you can remember that we had the 1/10ths, and then when we look at the spots, the very first spot is tens, the second spot is hundreds. So if we have it over in the second spot, that means that we have 1/100th of the whole. 1/100th of the whole, 1/10th of the whole,